Hi guys, welcome back. So this is a quick review of Stranger Things seasons 1 to 4. Hmm. So it's the second time for me to watch seasons 1 to 4. I haven't seen season 5 yet. That's happening in a minute. And I was a big fan of seasons 1 to 3. And then season 4, when it first came out, for whatever reason, it caught me at a bad time. I was drinking too much. It was the end of the pandemic. A lot of crap had happened during the pandemic. I ordered a pizza. I had some time off work. I ordered a pizza. Maybe the anchovies on the pizza weren't sitting right or something. But I freaked out from the first couple of episodes of Stranger Things season 4, and I couldn't watch it for a whole month or so. And I really did not enjoy it one bit. But going back this second time and watching them all through one after the other without any gaps, waiting for the next series, I've really enjoyed it a lot more. And I'm really pleased that I was able to watch season 4 all the way through without being triggered, without being sent into a panic attack or have any sort of psychosis triggered. Um, it's a lot of people's favourite season, but I think it's possibly the weakest in terms of pacing. It's a really long season. There's a lot of hanging about. The scenes with the Soviets don't really work because they've made the Soviet characters comical characters in a kind of Borat sense, and I think that takes away from the edge of Stranger Things, having these comical Soviet characters in it. It didn't really work for me. It made it less scary. I think if you'd had the Soviets purely as the Soviets and not zany, goofy characters, that would have had more threat. Vecna himself is not that scary, and he's kind of like a avatar or a deity of Pennywise from Stephen King's It. The whole premise of Hawkins is really it's the town of Derry from Stephen King's It. Now, don't get me wrong, I do not dislike Stranger Things season 4. In fact, I really like it, and I would say it's one of the stronger big budget seasons, but it's not the best. I think the best season is the first, followed by the second, then the third, then the fourth. I think they gradually tail off. Even though more money has been put into them, I think it becomes this grandiose, um, big budget, almost like a Marvel universe type production. When really the beauty of Stranger Things was it was the small town of Hawkins with a group of friends that you got to know. And it was funny. There weren't really many jokes in season 4. There was a lot of fear and foreboding and shadowing and all the rest of it, but there wasn't any laugh out loud funny bits. I think the last time I laughed out loud was probably season 3 with Dustin and his girlfriend that lived in Utah when they sang the Neverending Story together. That was a funny, upbeat moment, and that's what's missing from the later versions of Stranger Things. It's not as funny. It's not as charming. Um, season 3 gets quite a low review because it says it relies too heavily on. People say it relies too heavily on 80s nostalgia. Well, I don't think there's such a thing as relying too heavily on 80s nostalgia. I really enjoyed everything about the Starcourt Mall. It just took me back to my youth, teenage years, shopping. And there's a screening of Back to the Future, my favourite movie. So, yeah, season 3 was really enjoyable. Season 4, the pacing, I was like, oh, come on. Like, there was a lot of scenes with Papa in the school, where he's training all the psychics, and those were really, I found those scenes really boring. in the Rainbow Room, and I just wanted Elle to get the hell out of there. I didn't like seeing her in there. I mean, obviously that's the point. You're not supposed to enjoy it, but there was a lot of suffering in season 4 and not a lot of joy. However, I sound like I'm slating it, but I did enjoy it, but I enjoyed it on a level of like a Stephen King film. I didn't enjoy it in that kind of Goonies fun way that Stranger Things originally started out as. I enjoyed it as a completely different horror medium. Whereas at first, Stranger Things, I think, was more of a family friendly, fun experience, which you could dip in and out of 40-minute episodes. Now we've got these really long hour-and-a-half episodes. I think the final episode was 2 hours 30. But I got through it. I was a little bit bored in places. I found that the 3 different stories, all happening at different parts of the planet, that didn't really work. It would have been good to just have kept it in and around Hawkins. But fair play and well done to the creators for trying to make something more. You know, they obviously had a bigger budget and thought, right, we're going all out. And yeah, there were some funny bits, like the guy with the beard who's suddenly a black belt in karate and he gets to use those skills. But I found that it was a bit all over the place, really. However, that said, I'm really looking forward to season 5. I'm going to watch that now, so I'll keep you updated. I hope there hasn't been too many spoilers in this review if you haven't watched seasons 1 to 4 so far. But yeah, if I wasn't a huge fan of 4, am I going to not be a huge fan of 5? That's the only thing I'm thinking. We'll see. What was fun was going all the way back to the beginning and just watching one episode after the other right up to season 5. And now I'm fully, I nearly did that thing of watching a 10-minute video and then jumping into season 5. I'm so glad I didn't. I'm so glad I went through every single episode and refreshed my brain on everything that had happened because I'd forgotten so much of it. But anyway, this has been my quick review, and I'll check back in after season 5.